Hi, welcome back to Animation Teacher. Today we're going to go through our video part 2 of the face planing animation. So in our first video, I showed you how to create a face planing friendly rig. Today we're going to be animating that rig, but before I do that, I want to show you a few things. I've rebuilt and organized a few things in, I call it the wrestler rig. So I want to go over it now with you. The first thing you'll notice is I have an eyelid now. I did some instances, so the wrestler now blinks. I've decided to go with the overlay layer to sandwich that between the cutter of the pupil and the underlay of the eye white, instead of copy and pasting and revealing the art layers. And I did that with the underlay layer here as well. I renamed the cutter close eye cutter and far eye cutter, just so things are clearly labeled here. I have now a master peg that's underneath the face master peg, which sits underneath the head master peg, which also has a separate now head master underneath for skewing. The neck also has an independent peg now, and as does the torso. I've decided to do it this way because I was having issues manipulating just the base of the head and just the neck by itself. So now it's all separated if I want to grab it like so. I also did some instances for the mouths. So we'll start our character off like that, and yeah. To get the eyelids, you'll just have to grab the outside of the eyelids here, and the character can blink now. Okay, so that's our updated rig. We're going to go ahead and animate something now. I'm going to hit F6 to start us off, and I'm just going to delete all these keys and F5 to reveal. Alright, so face planing. The idea is that you want to create, and I'll show you something here. The idea is that you want to create movement on an object that has a plane. In this case, our face plane goes something like this. Now the idea is that we want our face to potentially do something like this. Alright, so we're changing the plane of the face. That's essentially the basis of a face plane. Now, in addition to changing the face, the plane of the face, what we'll probably end up doing is actually changing the position of the head as well. Okay, so now that I have that sketch there, I'm going to pose them out. So I'll leave our first pose, and we'll go right into our second pose here. So first thing I'll do is I'm going to just tilt the head down a little bit and skew the neck. And I'm using my minus, or my comma, and period button at the bottom here to toggle. Okay, So I want to get a good head rotation happening here. And I'm going to go ahead and start skewing items, in this case the head. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and move the whole face master first. Let's bring up the mouth. It's much too low. I'll bring up the nose and rotate it. It's probably way too low. Yeah. Oops. Some magenta there. Okay. So, oops. I just realized something here. I actually want to just select the close eye and the far eye. So it looks like I have to re-rig this a little bit more here. So I'm going to need a Eyelid Master. Actually, the eyelid can actually control the pupil. I think that should solve that issue. So let me locate the other pupil. It's a close pupil. There we go. Let's see how this works here. Yep, that'll do it. Just going to go back and hit F6 to make sure we get it. Now, the idea is that you want to skew only the stuff that you actually need to skew. And try not to skew everything all at once. You're going to find that there's a happy medium to each object being skewed. Okay, so as I'm parenting up, I'm actually just hitting B, and to parent back down, it's just Shift B here. Alright, so I'm actually going to hide my rough here, it's kind of distracting. And we'll just eyeball it, no pun intended. Now, just notice my eyelid and my eye white need to have a separate peg, separate master peg, independent from my pupil. So I will actually need a far eye master. Make sure it's set to separate. And I'm going to actually connect my pupil to that master. Okay, because I want this separated here. And I'm going to set my anchor point like so. So I'll do that again, and I'll explain it this time. I'm going to create an eye master. So I'm just going to click my eyelid here. I'm going to hit Control P to create a peg. I'll put it on top, and I'll rename this Close Eye underscore Master. And I'll set that to separate. And I'm going to run the pupil into it. There. Once again, I'm going to hit F6 just in case. And I'll go ahead and finish my animation here. So that is basically the down position here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to close the eyelids here. Okay, and next I'm going to do an up position. So the up position, I'm actually going to start off by stealing this resting position. So I'll click that, drag it over, and hold down Control to get my starting position again. But this time, I'm going to push this a little bit. I'm going to actually do a little bit of an overshoot. Shoot the neck back, and then shoot the head back. Shoot the neck back, and I'm going to shoot the head back here. Okay. I'll copy this, Control, click and drag, holding Control. So this frame here will be my overshoot. I'll do slightly the same thing and push the pose a little bit further. Okay. Okay. Actually, this pose here, I'm gonna have the character look up. Okay. And let's open up his mouth. And I'll have the character look up. Skew the pupils a little bit. Okay. And character up. Skew that. All right. So that looks pretty skewed. Okay, so here's our resting position here. Now, I kind of like the overshoot and settle I have with the neck. So what I'll do is I'm going to actually click the head here, hit the head column. I'm going to find it in here, and I'm just going to simply lose the key there, hit F6. So that way I keep my neck and my torso animation. And then all I have to do is bring this back down. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this back down a little bit. Now, like everything else, this is going to come with practice. You're not going to get this right away, and a lot of this is experience with um, drawing your character, keeping things on model. Many times when somebody does a head turn, the character goes quite off model, but sometimes it's okay. Alright, so here it is. We have arresting, Antic, Overshoot, Settle. So I'm going to collapse this. So once again we have our 4 keys, resting, Antic, Overshoot, Settle. And we're just going to animate that now. So I'm going to hold, actually this is my hold. Then I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frame Antic. Oops. 5 frame Antic. I just copied over that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 frame Antic. Overshoot. I'm going to 2 frames or 3 frames, and then my settle will be another 5 frames. I'm going to highlight it all, hit Control K to tween, and on my timeline I'm going to locate the set ease for multiple parameters. And currently I am on frame 13. Apply next. I'm going to ease into frame 18. So to ease into frame 18, I'm going to hit 80. On my way out, I want to slow out at 25. That's going to shoot to my overshoot, and I want to settle it, let's say 70. And let's have a look. We'll loop it. So that's basically it. Now we can tween, or we can do an in-between for the eye blink because I already have that. There you go. So that's how you do a face plane for a simple face plane friendly rig. So we'll save that. And thanks for watching, Animation Teacher. See you next time. Bye.